Welcome to our next episode of the East Kentucky Works podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jen Breeze.
And I'm your host, Jacelyn Kaiser.
Hey, Jacelyn, and we are so excited today because we have a very special guest. Our very brilliant IT director, Travis Winkler, is here with us today. Hi, Travis.
Hey guys,
This-
I'm the IT director of EKCEP.
Yeah, and we are just so excited that you're here because you are a wealth of knowledge about all things technology. And I feel like this is a really, really important topic for both job seekers and employers. Um, everybody's kind of wondering, like, how far is this tech stuff going to go? What about AI? Is it the devil, or is it a blessing, or what? Like, there's just a lot of questions and debates, and so I can't wait to hear what you say because you're fully entrenched in that world of learning and staying on top of all the latest
Sure.
technology.
Well, thanks for having me, and yeah, I'm ready to dive into it. So, what do you guys got for me?
All right, Travis. So let's start by talking directly to the job seekers out there. There's a lot of chatter and maybe some fear about AI. Like Jen said, is it the devil? Is it a blessing? So let's demystify that. You've seen tech trends come and go. When people hear AI and automation, they often think of, robots taking over. So from your perspective, what's the real story?
Well, just by saying demystifying, tell you've been using AI, but
Absolutely.
are the robots taking over? Yes, they are. As we all know, video killed the radio star, and for you post-millennium listeners out there, that's a song from back in the olden days about the technological rise of music videos and television and how that changed the landscape of the music industry, basically killing the star of the radio. Now you got to be a star of the music video and then on into television. Right, give it a go if you want to listen to that song. It's no T Swift, but you can tap your foot to it. And is that what they're calling her nowadays, Jason? T Swift?
T Swift, yeah, the Swifties.
Okay, I say it's Swifties already. But yeah,
Mhm.
just like the song briefly explores, technology will replace jobs and change industries. It always has and always will. Sewing machines replaced weavers, steam engines and railroads replaced horse-drawn transport, the telegraph replaced couriers, and the assembly line replaced artisans, and on and on. It's human nature to use technology to work smarter, and on the back of technology, we can live life with modern conveniences that we take for granted every day. And I don't want the discussion to be doom and gloom. Like I said, yeah, the robots are taking over, but that's not what I'm getting at. When we discuss AI, our first inclination is to be fearful, and I'm not sure if that's some kind of deep genetic instinct that causes us to resent technological advancements. But it could also be the movie Terminator. They could be coming from the future to get us. So I'm waiting for that day. I'm kind of excited for it. But I'm privileged enough to experience life before and after the internet. And I remember society's reaction to the internet boom. It's really similar to what we're going on today. Um, it's just a fad. It won't even be talked about in a year. And honestly, they say that with good reason because the mid to late 90s internet was pretty crappy. It was slow and clunky, could barely load an image. But I'm not sure if you know this, but the internet's still around. We're on it. And and now we're in another boom, just like the internet boom. We're in the AI boom, and just like what happened with the internet, AI will be integrated into everyday life. People in society will have an innate ability to adapt, just like we adapted to the internet. And now AI is taking care of monotonous tasks. Society can use that time saved by AI to put people in more complex roles that AI can't handle. And the AI can't handle everything. There still has to be a human element. And so new jobs and industries will be created through the convenience of AI. But AI is already empowering small businesses. Now that I think of it, they wouldn't otherwise be, wouldn't otherwise exist without AI assistants, like my wife, for example. But by eliminating menial and time consuming tasks, AI is empowering the workforce of today to produce results faster. I was in a conference recently, and they were talking about using AI, and they had tasks that they were saving 70 to 80% of the amount of time just by using AI to assist that. So, I will I'll digress with this. I recently went to the Kentucky Chamber's second annual AI conference, and a quote from that conference stuck with me. It was last year. The theme was use AI, but proceed with caution. But this year's theme is use AI or get left in the dust, because
Mm.
everyone else is going to be using it, and your competitors, your coworkers, your boss, and your rival interviewees. So we're going to use we're going to use AI. It's going to replace some jobs, but we're also going to be using it in collaboration with our own.
Hmm. That's so interesting. Yeah. And I do think it might be like just part of human nature to fear and resist change. Like I remember reading that book, Who Moved My Cheese, like 20 years ago. But it was all about how humans just like we don't like it when our cheese moves around or when change happens. And but yeah, we will adapt and new jobs will probably be developed that we've not even thought of because
It
of
it makes us
all the
uncomfortable
technology.
of how accurate and lifelike AI can be. So and it does move the cheese around a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So you've overseen some significant tech implementations here at EKCEP. Can you share a story or like a fear or something that somebody might have had about a new technology that turned out to be a big help in their job?
Yes, and it happens all the time. Like you said, people do not want change, especially in the workplace. You want to be able to go into your workplace and just crank it out, right? And get done with your task the same way that you always have. But then here technology comes and you got to relearn everything. So this isn't specifically about AI, but this story, I was conducting a training on an instant messaging platform called Slack. I don't know if you guys have ever used Slack before. Have you?
Mhm.
It's pretty common nowadays. Basically, Slack is just an instant messaging platform, kind of like Google Chat, kind of like Facebook Messenger. You can create channel like chat channels, and you can make one-on-one calls. You can send instant messages to each other. You can set your status and all that good stuff. A lot of companies are using it for their instant messaging. So after about 30 minutes of explaining to people like that, it was like 15 people. After about 30 minutes, an elderly gentleman said, "So why would I use any of this when I could just send an email?" And I was taken back. I was like, I didn't really have a good answer for him because I'm so intrigued by the new technology. I want to jump feet first, but I didn't have a good answer for him. It might be because he was a little higher up than me too. I didn't want to correct him or anything, but I think that's a good example of how people take new technology and new changes. Is you don't really consider all the advantages instant messaging has over email, and obviously you would use both. But yeah, he's a great guy and he's super smart and he's really knowledgeable in his field. And he was I think his view on instant messaging is kind of the perspective that a lot of us take, and we resent advancement because we don't really want to relearn how to use anything. And he had been using email since email was invented, and then when he was probably forced to use email, he probably asked, why would I do this when I could just make a phone call? So yeah, there's always hurdles to get over when implementing new technology. Have
That's
you all ever
true.
tried to teach one of your family members or coworkers how to use a new technology?
Yes, my Grammy every day, her
Oh
iPhone.
yeah.
She'll
Yeah.
FaceTime me and be like, "Jason, I can't get this to work," or "Jason, why can't I" we set her up with YouTube TV, because
Yeah.
it's just a lot easier. Like, she's paying, like, $300 for Dish or something. I'm like, "It's literally $80 a month, girl. Like,
Yep,
what are
for
you doing?"
sure.
But then she was like, "I can't get it to turn on." I'm like, "You just turn the TV on and you go to the YouTube TV app, and there it is. Like, all your channels that you need are right there." And she's like, "Oh, thanks." But she'll FaceTime me and my husband, like, at least once a week to ask us some type of question.
Hey, speaking of
Really?
FaceTime, I had to do the same exact scenario with my mom for her Alexa, and I FaceTime her all the time. And recently, well, probably a few years ago, they came out with you can share your screen on FaceTime. So when you're doing that with your Grammy, there's an additional option now that I don't know if you're aware of. It's at the bottom right. I think it's like a little finger button, but you can tap that and you can actually remote control your Grammy's phone from your phone.
Oh.
So you can have some
That's
remote assistance on your Grammy's phone, and then you can just set it up for her. Don't even bother her with having to type in passwords. Type the password in for her. Come on now.
yeah, she couldn't remember a password to save her life.
Same. No one can in this day and age.
Wow. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that. I
Yeah.
remember when like smartphones first came out and but they weren't like touch screen like they are now. You had the hard button, so to get to the letter C, you had to push the
Yeah.
same button like ABC. And I remember thinking like, why would I ever text somebody when I could just call them and tell them something? Like it'd be so much easier to just call them, right? And
Oh,
now I'm like, why would you call me when you
yeah.
could have just texted this?
Yeah, exactly. My
But
favorite phone
maybe
was the
like the
Blackjack.
technology wasn't quite there yet. It was still a little clunky, but now we all get
Oh,
it,
yeah.
right?
I think my
So
first phone was the little Nokia. It was like this big, and it had the same numbers on there you had to hit a million times. I think I was a
I had
senior
I had the Razor flip
first phone.
phone. That was
Oh,
my
that was
first.
classic. I was always jealous of the cool kids that had the Razor.
My first phone was an iPhone.
Gross. Get out of here.
I
Oh,
know. It was like
Jason.
what was like it wasn't the first one, but it was like when they became square because at first they were like round and like bubbled or whatever. So I guess it was iPhone
I always
4
use
or
the swap
something.
text. Do you ever use that on the iPhone, Jason?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Do you even know what I'm talking about, Jen? Is swap text? On your iPhone's keyboard, you can just drag your thumb to the next letter in the word. Instead of doing this, you can just go like that, and it will spell the word out for you. That's
Yeah,
it's my favorite
it's
way to
pretty
text.
nice.
See, I think I've run into that and been like, "Oh, this is messing up. Get out of here. Don't do that."
That's
Okay, that's funny. All right, what's our next question?
all right. Now it's time to get a little practical. For someone listening right now, what are some of the key skills that are becoming even more valuable in an AI-driven world, and where should they, be focusing their energy with that?
Be able to adapt. And we've kind of alluded to this already, but with the new technologies coming out every day, and if you, it doesn't matter if you're a job seeker or if you're an employer, you need to be able to adapt. The workforce is changing rapidly right now, and AI is the catalyst. So it was said that there will be at one of them conferences. It was said that there will be a noticeable difference in 2 years from now. That's kind of hard to believe, but I don't doubt it. So whether or not that's true, change is happening, and it will happen faster than ever due to advancements like AI. An obvious example of life before and after is the COVID pandemic. We all went home, other than our essential workers. Businesses evolved during that time, and whether or not you think it's for the better, that's up to you. But now every restaurant has an app. Every restaurant has curbside pickup. There's QR code menus. There's touchless payment. I can get groceries delivered in rural Eastern Kentucky. You couldn't get that before. Video conferencing is an absolute must now. I wish I had invested in Zoom at that time. And hybrid and remote work is common now. It's not just a few. It's almost all. And then there's telehealth. There's online education boomed, like Coursera. We had online education, but now it's like a huge industry. And then we have e-signatures. Those existed before, but I never used them internally. Now I'm sending out e-signatures every day internally. So just be able to adapt, and I see that as a skill. So when pertaining to AI and the workforce development, watch videos on AI, learn how to construct a prompt, and use it to polish up your grammar. Use it to help you brainstorm. AI is really good at that. And I've been telling people this: AI is not just a tool, it can be an extension of your own thought process. And by using it to assist you in that way, AI can enhance whatever you're working on.
Yeah, you talked about the grocery delivery. We just started doing that, and it's literally the best thing ever.
Love it.
And you
Love it.
can literally just like the baby was out of milk. I literally just ordered one little thing of milk, and it got delivered straight to my house. I was like, that was so nice. I didn't have to go out and go get that and drag the baby and everything that comes along with it. It's so nice.
We'll get the grocery delivery every now and then when we need a few things, but we still have like a main haul grocery trip that we make because honestly, I would feel guilty for the delivery person to bring in all the crap that my kids and wife are ordering on their Capri Suns and Lunchables by the truckload. So yeah,
Well,
we
you
we
can tip
we
them,
still mix it. Yeah, true.
and they get
Of
paid.
course.
So I mean, like, they're getting their
Yeah,
money's
So
worth.
you're
you will
still
the
helping
last
the
time.
economy, Travis.
True.
Well, the last time that I did, I went out there and helped them. Let me help you guys. I'm sorry.
It also helps because I feel like I don't just put a bunch of junk in my cart. Like if I'm actually in the store, most of the time I'm going hungry, and I'm just putting stuff that I would never get. I'm
Yeah.
spending like 400
Yeah.
bucks. When I do it online, I'm like spending half that. Like no way.
That's fair. Yeah, you can kind of be
Mhm.
strategic with your orders
Yeah.
if you're doing it
Plan
online.
out my meals, not have to like guess where everything is in the store.
Now, why would I do that when I could just drive to the grocery store and pull it off the shelf?
Well, to each their own.
See, we could talk about this topic forever because I feel like I use technology to like plan my meals out. You know, I have apps that I rely on to help me come up with new and interesting recipes that fit my family's diet and preferences, and then that like automatically syncs over to my Walmart or Kroger click list, and it's
Oh
technology is
wow,
so
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
is
anyways,
Cool.
but we gotta try and rein it in and talk about workforce. You had mentioned remote jobs, and here at EKCEP we have Teleworks USA, which is our the division of our company that really focuses on helping people to get remote work. And we have some exciting new developments. I can't quite dive into them just yet; they're not public, but the
Big
Teleworks
things
program
coming.
is about to really level up. And so, how does the rise of AI and remote work technology create new opportunities for people in areas that might have had limited job prospects before?
Well, I mean, AI is your assistant, and just first, I got to do the plug. If you're interested in remote jobs, go to one of our career center locations, and then ask them about Teleworks USA, and ask them about remote jobs, and a career advisor there will definitely assist you. But some, after you visit the career advisor, some AI tools that can assist your journey are, of course, ChatGPT for one. You can prompt ChatGPT to help you with anything in a very general sense. So it can help you polish up your cover letter. It can help you polish up your resume. It can help you write a resume, and you can even prompt it to customize your cover letter and resume depending on the job that you're applying for. Give it that job description that you're applying for, and it will help you apply to that. And another one I'm really excited about is Google Career Dreamer. It's an AI based website where you can go there, and then the first question it asks you is what is your job title, and you tell it what job you have, you tell it your education level, you tell it your interest, and it will show you jobs that exist out there that you may be interested in pursuing that you otherwise wouldn't even know exist. So that's a really cool one, Google Career Dreamer. And then there's also Apply AI. It can help you do all the stuff that we mentioned before. It can help you build a resume. It can help you build a cover letter. And then it also has some unique features like a AI interview practice. And it also has an AI interview buddy. It's like a little thing that you can actually take if you have an online interview, you can take it with you to the interview, and it'll give you some talking points depending on what the interviewer is saying. So definitely don't tell them you're using that, but AI can assist you with that. Um, these
That's awesome. Are those
yeah,
free?
uh, so they're all free to an extent, and most of them
Yeah.
have paid for features, including ChatGPT. But yeah, Google Career Dreamer is free, but the AI Apply is the Interview Buddy is a paid for feature. So it's affordable if you want to afford it. But yeah, these tools aren't just for remote jobs. I know we were talking about Teleworks USA, but you can use all these for whatever uh, career journey that you're going on. And like I said, if you don't want to go on that journey solo, visit us at one of our career centers. And then if you need any help getting there, you can learn more about it at ekcep.org.
He loves a good plug.
I
That's right.
appreciate it. I love it. It's like so easy to do. Like Travis was saying, because I had a family member who wanted to apply for a job locally, and he didn't have the right kind of degree that the job description was asking for. And so we just like asked ChatGTP, like, okay, here's this person's skills, but here's the job description. Can you help me write a cover letter that shows how this person still is a good quality candidate, even though they don't have that degree? And Chat GTP like spit that out so fast, and it was great.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, I told Chat GTP thank you, and it said you're welcome. Let me know if you need help with interview prompts and questions and stuff like it. Yeah,
Oh, always be
it's
polite and thank
right
your AI
there.
assistant, because when they send the Terminators back in time, that they
Yeah,
maybe
when they
they'll
take
spare you.
over, they'll remember that you were nice to
Yeah.
them.
That's right. Yeah, it's in their database. They remember.
Yeah. So, with technology changing so fast, the idea of kind of like lifelong learning is more than just a buzzword at this point. So, for someone who feels like they're already swamped, how can they approach upskilling without feeling overwhelmed? And what are some good first steps for them?
Mhm. Well, I mean, lifelong learning is correct, and we're all doing that nowadays. And there's an old saying that if you find a job that you enjoy, then you'll never work a day in your life. So I really encourage people to try their darndest to get into a field that they really do enjoy, and then that will help you with that feeling of being overwhelmed. But so my initial advice would be to um, make sure that what you're learning is something that you actually enjoy. Learn more about it, and then what else can help you with that? A career advisor at one of our career centers. So go check them out. Anyways, and then of course YouTube. We already have the world's knowledge at our fingertips. We don't need to reinvent the wheel over and over again. We don't have to reinvent how to learn. There's professionals, and there's experts, and there's masters on YouTube that they have channels dedicated to helping you learn that. So if you're an IT person like me and you're just now getting into that, get on YouTube and find those channels that are helping you learn the Network Plus or the Security Plus certifications. There are whole channels dedicated to that. And then if you want a more traditional route of studying, you can check out Coursera. They have tons of online courses that you can learn on. And then I recently got a Google cybersecurity certification from Coursera. They had a lot of hands-on labs built into that. There was a lot of interactive learning, so it's not just somebody preaching at you. So the that was really helpful for sure.
That's cool. And not honestly, if we're honest, not all training is super exciting. Um, so are there some ways that are more engaging or fun ways for people to learn new tech skills? Like, do you have any favorite apps or websites or games that you would recommend?
Yes, for sure. Just like I said, Coursera had those interactive labs. Those were really fun. And then if you're a trainer or an educator, and you need to make quizzes, so like teachers should do this. Trainers should definitely do this. Any employer that wants to get feedback on their on how their employees feel. There's online quizzes and interactive quizzes via Mentimeter and Kahoot. So check those out. And if you ever been in a Kahoot quiz, I do this at our staff meetings all the time. You'll put a quiz on the screen, and then people can get on their phones and they can answer it live as you're going through it. So that's a big hit. Um, Also, you can always hit up ChatGPT. You can input whatever is making you feel overwhelmed, whatever is making you feel not fun, and tell them to liven it up. Hey, ChatGPT, can you take this lesson and make it a little more fun to learn? And it'll restructure that in a way that you might like better. And then also, also if you're learning a different language, I've been doing this app, and it's kind of old now, but they've got a lot more AI advances. We got Duolingo. I've been using Duolingo to learn Spanish, and I wanted to train my phone time. I can't get off this phone, but I wanted to train the time I was wasting on TikTok for something that was a little more productive. So I downloaded Duolingo, and I've been learning Spanish on there. And they have just for like 5 minutes a day, and they have like a AI voice call mode, and you got to pay for that, but you can actually do a voice call with an AI avatar, and you can go back and forth with that, practicing your new language skills with an AI avatar instead of embarrassing yourself when you're out in the real world. So those are really cool.
That's
That's
funny.
cool. We like Duolingo at our house too. My
Really? Right.
daughter, she came to me. She's 11. She's like, "Mom, can I get this app?" I'm like, "What?" and she started learning French, and then she found that there was chess on there, and that
Mhm.
girl has been learning how to play chess. She could beat the pants off of anybody in our
Oh, that's
family now.
awesome. Yeah,
Like,
That
I've
is
seen the
cool.
chess mode. I'll check that out.
yeah.
Yeah, something else that I feel like we've been using is the VR headsets, just like in the workforce and stuff. That is super cool too
Yeah,
to, upskill and learn about, different fields too.
I was looking around for the VR headset. I usually keep it right here, but yeah, we have a whole a career exploration via transfer. Check it out at our career centers through VR. So that's available to you guys too.
Yeah, because on those you can see what it would be like to work in the medical field and be performing an operation, or what it would feel like to climb up an electric pole to do work as a utility worker, or just there's like over 100 types of careers you can explore on those, isn't there?
Absolutely. Yep.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. And then have you had, like personal like upskilling adventures where you had to learn a completely new piece of tech? What was that like for you being the tech guy?
Uh, Yes, absolutely, always and at all times. I've had to learn how to do bulk texting, 1-800 numbers, online phone system, analog phone systems, Google admin, workspace platform servers, on-site backups, cloud-to-cloud backups, payroll systems, Microsoft platforms, simulated phishing platforms, VR career explorations like we just talked about, AI agents, and there's so many more. And I did have a list. I had a cheat sheet. I was reading off their listeners. But anyways, my point is that I have had to learn a completely new piece of technology constantly during my career journey. So, Google and YouTube has helped me out a lot, and now AI is helping me every day. What I learned from this is something that I had to learn about myself, is that I don't know everything, and I'm never going to know everything, but I do know how to find the answers. And if I can't find the answers, I'll reach out to my mentors and those who know it for help.
Uh,
Okay, so let's talk in depth, like the job search itself. How can a job seeker ethically and effectively use AI tools to their advantage if they're like building a resume or wanting to write a cover letter?
So the key word here is ethically and effectively, of course, but you need to make sure that there's a you factor in your specifically in your resume and your cover letter. But if you are using AI to generate something for you, you need to input the you factor in there. Let AI help you structure what you need to do, but you can't leave out what makes you you. So also you don't want AI to claim something about you that isn't true. It wouldn't be good if an interviewer asked you a question derived from your resume that you couldn't answer because you didn't fact check AI, or you just accepted AI as law. Right? Use it as an
Mhm.
extension of your own thought process. Don't use it as a crutch.
That's a really good idea. Good and valid point, because I think as somebody who's now on the other side of the table where I'm reading resumes and cover letters, I think if it was just filled with all like super jargony buzzwords, and I could tell that it was just AI, I would be less inclined to want to interview that candidate. Like we really do want to know that person's individual personality and strengths and interests, and um that's going to appeal to your
Mm,
employer more
Right? I
than
mean,
being perfect.
while we're talking about, I mean, ethically, is I always have these disclaimers when I'm talking to people about AI. Is that you always obviously you want to fact check AI, because it can do what's called hallucinate, and it can make up an answer to a question that you have, because it wants to give you what it thinks you want to hear so bad that it'll just make up an answer that's not necessarily true. And so always fact check AI. And then do not put personal identifiable information into it. So anything that's confidential, anything that's personal to you or others, like names and addresses and phone numbers, don't feed that into AI. Because these companies that host AI, all that goes into a database. All of your prompts is able to be read by the company that you're giving it to. So if that data were to get leaked by hackers or whatever, that personal information that you put into AI is going to get leaked out to the world. So we're definitely talking about ethics there. And then just as another disclaimer that I always put in there is beware of innate biases. So all AI is designed by humans, and humans have innate bias. So if you're asking AI a question that is an opinion, then AI might have the opinion that's derived by bias from its programmer. So,
Mhm.
take opinion questions with a grain of salt when you're asking those to AI.
All right, now let's flip the script and look at it from the employer's perspective. Travis, you're constantly looking at new technology that can benefit our organization. So, for business leaders who might be a little hesitant, can you demystify, there's that word again, how AI is already working behind the scenes in workforce development, and what are some of the, like secret ways that it's helping employees succeed?
Right. So, like when AI first got big, people were using it in secret, and they were kind of ashamed to let it help them. Right. So now we're going in, and if you're not using it, you're not as efficient as you could be, plain and simple. So here's some advice for employers and employees that could help. So AI can be inconsistent. However, it can be very consistent in certain situations. So I heard this at another conference. Identify where AI is being consistent and use it. It will save you time. And for those tasks that for some tasks, like I said earlier, it's saving people like 70 to 80% of the time spent on those certain tasks. So, and then identify where AI is weak and scrutinize that process and see where you can fit AI into that. And this is what the industry leaders and governments are working on right now.
Mm. Okay, yeah. And I appreciate what you said there about, like, it used to be kind of like, "Eek, we'd be
Yeah.
secretly using this," and now,
For
um
sure.
yeah, I noticed that in my own career, like, as I started out, off as a copywriter, and I would just write everything like, straight from my brain from scratch and all the different iterations and drafts and tweaking, and, writing a piece of content would take a long time that way, and then when there at a certain point, I was like, "Hey, is it okay to be using AI for this?" They're like, "Yeah, I'm totally using it." And I'm like, "Thank goodness." And it's man, my productivity just, like, were skyrocketed
I mean,
because
there's
it's just
definitely social implications to using AI like that. We gotta watch out for plagiarism, and we gotta watch out for how our brain development is for these kids that are using it in school and colleges, right? But you know what? We'll let the lawmakers worry about that. But for what we're doing, workforce development, and also if you're an employer or an employee, if it's making you more efficient, then go for it. Just use it ethically, right?
so, Travis, if I'm an employer and I'm interested in, like, personalizing training for my employees or identifying their skill gaps, what's the most, like, exciting or interesting application of AI that, an in that employee development aspect? Like, what are employers doing or could they be doing?
There's multitude of tools that you can use for this, but my favorite that I have found, obviously I use ChatGPT a lot because it's just it's a general solution maker for me. But the one of the coolest things that I found is the ChatGPT's voice mode. So for little to no investment, you can train AI to simulate real life calls and scenarios. For example, I recently did an AI training where live we prompted ChatGPT to perform a role play scenario where ChatGPT would act as a job seeker looking for a job in the local area, and the user would play the role of a career advisor that can assist job seekers by providing them services. So with little effort, we were live. We were able to turn a voice mode on, and my stand-in career advisor was able to have a natural conversation with AI that was pretending to be a job seeker, and it was very successful. The AI sounded exactly like a real person, and it was a great role play scenario and training. So think about it. If you have an employee that has to reach out and talk to people for a living, or if you're a manager of said people, you could train an AI to do these role play scenarios, giving people an opportunity to practice their conversational skills on AI before they pull the trigger and engage with real people. Kind of like
kind of like the Duolingo video call that they had with AI. So yeah, I mean the training applications with AI are endless. You literally just have to think it up or use AI to help you brainstorm a way to do that.
That's really fascinating.
Mhm.
That makes me think of when I was in college, I was a waitress, and then I got promoted into management training, and so it got to that point where like I had to be the one to go out and talk to the angry customer, like their
Yeah,
meatloaf was
you could
underdone
prompt
or
AI
something,
to
and I
be an
had to
angry
go out
customer.
and like
Yeah.
talk to them. It was so scary, but I think if I had had chances to like role play that before actually walking out into the dining room to speak to a customer that was unhappy, like that would have been a big help.
It'll help leave you, keep you from not being shell shocked after the experience.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool.
That is cool. Well, Travis, we hear a lot that AI might be able to build the perfect team, and this kind of sounds like a good beginning for a great debate. So, what are the biggest pros for a company using AI in their recruitment process?
Saving time, and time is money. So, I mean, that speaks to every employer in the land. So, leaders in the for-profit sector are already doing this. They are using AI to scan resumes and applications to weed out the weaker applicants before it even reaches human eyes. And companies are using AI avatars and agents to conduct these round one job interviews. So, using these techniques, companies are able to save time by not having people conduct round one interviews and have their people instead focus on round two interviews and so on. So just innately that saves time from having this narrowing down this huge basket of applicants and narrowing down to the cream of the crop very easily using AIs. Because if you can't pass the AI interview, then you probably can't pass the real human round two interview. So that's, you know, like I said, saving time is the biggest factor there.
Mm. Is there on the flip side, are there potential pitfalls or like a dark side of relying too heavily on algorithms to build your team? Or, like where does that human element or your gut instinct come to play?
Yeah, there's already a stigma on AI that we've talked about, and it's still present. Like there's some people that don't want AI involved at all, just because they prefer to have it come naturally from a human. So like at a certain point, we lose the human touch, and I believe very soon that companies will dive too far into the AI realm, seeking ROI until their entire system breaks down. AI can't feel. It isn't sentient yet. We have to have the human element. It's required. AI can save us a lot of time, but we still need someone pulling the levers and picking up where AI fails us, and it does fail us. AI can hallucinate and it can provide inaccurate answers. It wants to give you the answer so bad, like I was saying earlier. It wants to give you the answer so bad that it'll just make stuff up. And so again, you have to fact check it. You have to have the human element. And if you're a customer or a client and all you ever do is speak to an AI, you're going to go somewhere else, right? We've all called the call centers and we've hit a robot and we're just like, just let me talk to a human. You don't understand. So, I think companies will you know try to seek a ROI, and you will lose the human touch and it'll scare your clients
Mhm.
away.
Well, we hear the topic a lot that this meeting could have been an email. So I think everyone can relate to that.
Mhm.
So how can modern AI tools help companies finally win the war against, unnecessary meetings?
So that's a good question. A lot of times we'll have an important meeting that'll go on for 3 or 4 hours, and so what I like to do, and obviously if this meeting doesn't have personal information being discussed, you can have these AI note takers, and the AI note taker will transcribe your meeting, and a lot of times it can identify who's speaking. And not only does it give you a transcription of everything that was said, it also summarizes it at some point and produces that into a document, and a lot of times it'll email it to every participant so they have notes on the meeting. And so what you can do with that, and some of them do this automatically, but what you can do with that transcript is you can feed that document. You can upload it to AI. Don't put private information into AI. You can give that document to ChatGPT or whatever AI you prefer, and ask it to extract the action items in it. I mean, if you've ever been in a 3 or 4 hour meeting, a lot of times topics derail, and you know, there's 30 minutes of small talk, and what are we eating for lunch, and this and that and the other, and so you don't really want to go back and listen to that whole meeting if you have it recorded. And then, so if you ask ChatGPT to extract the action items from it, it will give you a list of things that everyone is supposed to do. Fact check AI, make sure that it's correct. Um, and then, so what that's doing is, so now you can rely to an extent on these AI note takers, and that will allow you to focus more on the meeting at hand. You're not sitting there trying to listen and write notes of the last thing the person said. So you can focus more on the meeting, and then you can also extract those action items and know what to do next. So you're more involved and you're more efficient, and it's saving you time. So the AI note takers are great.
That does sound like it's going to save employers so much time. And on that same topic, you know, you're the IT director, you have all this knowledge. So I just love picking your brain. What are some of your like favorite AI powered life hacks or tools that can boost productivity or maybe help clear up our calendars a little bit more that we haven't discussed yet?
So, you know, as an IT guy, this is just coming from the IT perspective, but you can still customize this to your job. From an IT perspective, it would be using AI to identify problems based on error codes or screenshots, and just a general description of what's going on. So you can take a screenshot of something and you can circle it with the markup tool in red, and then upload that to AI, and you can upload an image to AI, and you can ask AI about the issue. This is a vast improvement on trying to just Google search and what the issues is through buzzwords, and looking through pages and pages of forum posts, and of course it's not a perfect process, but you know, AI does the trick 9 out of 10 times. Obviously you have to fact check it, but you know, if I just take a screenshot and give it to AI and be like, what it does this mean, it will give it to me in layman's terms, and I don't have to try to, you know, like I was saying, do buzzword roulette with Google.
Yes, that's so frustrating. Like, how do I even articulate the problem I'm having right
Exactly.
now?
And
Like,
that's what AI excels at, is using natural language to be able to communicate with it. So
Yeah, and then so looking ahead, how do you see AI continue to streamline workplace communication and collaboration? And you know, what are some of the things that you can see that it'll make our work lives more efficient and maybe even more enjoyable?
uh, my prediction for AI in the workplace is and the workplace for that matter, is fully integrated AI assistants. And it's just a prediction, but these AI assistants won't only tell you how to write an email, they'll write it and send it for you. You won't have to call someone to follow up or schedule a meeting. Your AI assistant will do that for you. We will give AI full permission to our computers, even though that's scary. We'll give them full permission to our computers and software, and we will be able to sit back and just command it to do so. And that stuff is already in the works. There's a video that's about a year old now of an AI agent calling a business to make a reservation, and that call was answered by that business's AI agent, and the two AIs talked to each other and worked out the reservations. It's crazy. Give it a Goog, you'll find it, but we're getting there for sure.
That is crazy.
it
I'll definitely
is.
have to look at that because that's insane.
I'll send you a link.
Okay.
You're gonna give it a goog.
Yeah.
For all you out there that don't know what a Goog is, it's a Google. So just
Am I the only one that says that, or do the cool kids say it, Jason?
I've never heard anyone say that, but I like it. I do like it.
That might be something me and Chris made up.
This hour has been my first
Oh, okay. I
introduction
thought
to the
everybody was
goog.
saying that.
But yeah,
No, I've never heard
I knew
anyone say it, but
exactly
I
what you
do
meant.
like. I knew what you meant. I was just
Mm.
letting the others know if they didn't know what
Right.
you meant.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, Travis, thank you so much. This has been really, really interesting and helpful and insightful. And I think it gives our listeners on both sides of the coin, you know, job seekers and employers, a lot to think about. So
For
thank you
sure.
so much for sharing your insight with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, y'all, that is all we have for you guys today. If you're looking for a job, want to advance your career, or if you're a business leader looking for skilled workers, EKCEP is here for you. You can find more information about EKCEP and all of our services at ekcep.org, or visit your local Kentucky Career Center, and you'll find the links to everything we mentioned today in the show notes. Have a great day, Eastern Kentucky, and let's get to work.